He didn't want pity. He never asked for free meals. All he wanted was respect, just enough for a man who once stood tall carrying his country's flag into battle. But that day, United States Marine veteran Harold "Hawk" Johnson didn't stand. He couldn't. His legs, weakened from war injuries, struggled to hold weight. He entered the busy supermarket using a worn-out wheelchair with a Marine Corps sticker that had faded into white patches. He smiled politely at customers, nodded to employees, and rolled toward the deli section where a modest meal, just a small rotisserie chicken, caught his eye. He reached for his wallet, carefully pulling out a worn veteran ID. Money was tight. He was living on disability checks that barely covered rent and medication. The store had a discount program for veterans. He smiled with quiet pride, believing he qualified. But the manager, Elliot Barnes, a middle-aged man with bitter eyes and too much pride in his cheap office badge, looked at him with disgust. "You don't look disabled," Barnes said, folding his arms. That Hawk's voice remained calm. "I served. I was wounded. Here's my ID. I'm not asking for free food, just the veteran price." Barnes scoffed loudly and gestured to Hawk's legs. "Then why don't you stand up and prove you're a real veteran? Get out of the chair. Walk. Or crawl if that's the best you can do." The entire deli section went silent. The mother covered her son's ears. An elderly man glared. A teenage employee whispered, "Sir, please, don't make him." But Barnes raised his voice again. "This store doesn't give discounts to fakes. So if you want a discount, stand up. Show US." People stared. Some filmed. Hawk's heart hammered. He felt every scar ache inside his body, every memory of gunfire replay, every fallen comrade's face flashed through his mind. And without a word, he lowered himself from the chair and began to crawl like a decorated Marine, forced to drag himself across a store floor like a wounded animal. Customers gasped. One woman cried. A boy shouted, "Stop him!" But Hawk only whispered through tears, "A Marine never quits." A young woman named Emily Rios, a college student working part-time, recorded what happened. With shaking hands, she helped Hawk back into the chair while refusing to look at the manager. "You're a disgrace," she whispered. She posted the video online with one caption. "He fought for us. Today we watched him crawl for food." Within hours, the video exploded across online platforms. Thousands commented, thousands cried, thousands raged. But most of the attention came from one very specific group, the Iron Wings Motorcycle Brotherhood, a nationwide biker group known for helping veterans. Their leader, Ryder Wolf McConnell, watched the video in stunned silence. His eyes narrowed with anger, his fists clenched. His grandfather had been a Marine. His father too. Respect for veterans was woven into his blood. "We ride at dawn," he told his riders, "but not for revenge. We ride for justice." The next morning, the town of Ridgeview shook. Asphalt trembled. Windows rattled. The Iron Wings arrived, 300 strong. Their jackets displayed a silver eagle claw clutching a military dog tag. Police blocked traffic thinking it was a protest, but Wolf waved a white flag. "No riots," he said. "Just respect. Just rights." They lined the supermarket parking lot, engines rumbling like thunder before a storm. Shoppers gathered, whispering in awe. Employees stared from inside, wide-eyed and pale. The manager, Barnes, tried to lock the doors, but the owners forced him to keep the store open. They feared bad press, lawsuits, and the wrath of 300 bikers. Wolf parked his bike at the entrance and removed his helmet slowly. "We're not here to fight. We're here to spend," he declared. Point one by one. Every biker walked inside, calm, disciplined, focused. They bought every single piece of food the mart had. Meat, bread, milk, snacks, water. Shelves were wiped clean. Customers applauded. The Iron Wings paid full price with cash. And for every receipt they collected, they handed it to Hawk, who sat quietly near the door, stunned, overwhelmed, and in tears. "This is for you, Marine," Wolf said, kneeling beside him. "No one ever crawls for food again. Not on our watch." The store owners, pressured by media outrage and the biker presence, had no choice. Minutes later, in front of customers, they publicly fired Barnes for harassment and violation of veteran rights. Barnes attempted to argue, but the crowd booed him out of the building. Hawk tried to speak, but broke down. Years of silent suffering poured out of him like rain. "I don't want charity," he cried. Wolf shook his head. "This isn't charity. It's respect. You earn this." The bikers donated the food to Hawk, local veteran shelters, and struggling families. News channels broadcasted the moment, calling it the day 300 bikers saved a soldier's dignity. The Iron Wings later built Hawk a new wheelchair, paid his medical bills, and helped him move into a better apartment. Emily, the girl who filmed the video, visited often. Hawk found a family again, not of blood, but of loyalty, honor, and brotherhood. Months later, Hawk regained strength through physical therapy funded by donations. He stood again, not because a cruel manager demanded it, but because love, respect, and support gave him power. He spoke at a community event. Heroes don't ask to be worshipped, just treated with humanity. Freedom isn't free, and dignity shouldn't cost pride. If you see someone fall, don't make them crawl. Lift them up. The crowd erupted with applause. And right there, 300 bikers raised their helmets to the sky, saluting a Marine who never stopped fighting. Final message to viewers: if this story touched your heart, tell us in the comments what you would have done if you were there. Your voice matters. Your empathy matters. And if you believe no veteran, no elderly person, no human should ever be forced to crawl for dignity, backhand index pointing right, subscribe to our channel. Be kind always, glowing star, like, share, and be the reason someone stands, not the reason they fall. Would you like a thumbnail prompt, SEO package, and hashtags for this story? Smiling face with smiling eyes.